The Crow. As within a review, this may contain spoilers. This movie sucked. The story beats were very superficial. Didn't feel authentic to me. There's a reason why official reviews were not allowed until the day of release. The industry term is called a review embargo. A review embargo is a day the studio sets that allows those who have been given early access to release a review. Every film has a review embargo. To be more accurate, the review embargo for The Crow was lifted until after the Thursday previews began. That usually doesn't happen. When the embargo is set so close to release of the movie, it is usually a sign that the studio thinks they have a stinker on their hands. That's a tactic they utilize to delay reviews in order to minimize negative publicity in the hopes of getting people to watch the film before they hear how bad it is. That's not always the case, and sometimes it's done to minimize spoilers, but 95% of the time, it's done to delay bad reviews. To get back to the movie, the story follows Eric, played by Bill Skarsgård, and Shelly, played by FKA Twigs, who fall in love and are murdered when Shelly's past catches up to them. Eric is given the chance to avenge their deaths, but more importantly, bring Shelly back from the dead. The story is frustrating. Shelly knew her life was in danger, but didn't leave the city and kept partying. The argument could be made that she's an addict, but it made no sense to me. Something else that was odd, Bill Skarsgård used an accent that would go in and out. It felt like the writer saw Post Malone and thought, okay, that's the character for The Crow. I didn't read the comics, which is the source material for The Crow, nor do I remember the previous Crow films. The explanation for the supernatural and why Eric was chosen to come back to life as The Crow was poorly explained and overall poorly written. I don't remember the exact explanation the movie gave, but it was something to the effect that sometimes when trauma happens and a person dies, their soul can't move on and they are given a chance to right the wrongs, if you will. I think love is also a factor in being chosen to become The Crow. Fine, I'll accept the premise, but again, why was Eric chosen to be The Crow? What made his trauma different than Shelly's or other characters in the story that died? His trauma or death didn't feel special or different enough to make him the obvious choice to be The Crow. The explanation given made it seem like he was almost chosen at random. Once he does become The Crow, he goes after those who killed Shelly, and this is supposed to bring her back to life. He starts an investigation and looks for the main person who was in charge of Shelly being murdered. A big issue I had was that everything fell neatly into place. He easily finds and has access to those he's looking for. My best guess is that perhaps he's being guided by the Crow that is shown following him. That at least would make more sense than him just randomly finding people. The love aspect of the story was the hardest part to believe. It was a bit cheesy, and as I mentioned earlier, it didn't come across as authentic. I felt that they liked each other, but I didn't feel the passionate love that they supposedly had and how that would be the catalyst for him becoming The Crow. As you can see in the poster, he's wearing black ink on his face. When that scene happened, for whatever reason during that scene, the Insane Clown Posse came to mind. For those unaware, the Insane Clown Posse is a rap group that paints their face. Their followers also paint their faces and are known as juggalos. The Crow felt like an emo version of a juggalo. When you think of it, their face paint aesthetic is more in line with that of the band Kiss. Honestly, I think it's more of an insult to both bands to compare them to this film. Overall, I didn't like the movie, but that doesn't mean you would enjoy it more than I did, and it may be worth watching. If you stuck around this long, why not give the video a like, try it out, see if it works, subscribe, check out my other videos, leave a comment and let me know what you think of the film. See you in the next review.